There are a few words and phrases that make guitar players cringe. So I accidentally dropped your guitar. Yeah, Fender Squiers are way better than American Stratocasters, trust me. It's just a little ding, you wouldn't even notice it. Do you know that One Direction song? Broken string, bowed neck, the action's way too high, dirty tone pots. I'm sure you've heard all these things and more, but one thing that makes guitar players truly frightened are two words: sight reading. Now, just so you guys know, I can say with 100% confidence that the guitar is the most difficult instrument in the world to learn how to sight read on. With that in mind, you don't want any extra friction learning to sight read by not practicing exactly what you need to practice to maximize your efforts. So I suggest getting this book. I just love this book. This is how I learned to sight read, and it is by far the easiest method to go about sight reading. I get questions all the time, should I learn how to sight read? That's another question entirely. If you want to learn how to sight read, get this book. I'm gonna show you how it works. So, starting on page 1 here, you'll see we've got the first position. This is where you're gonna wanna start. Duh, it's page 1. If you see these numbers here, 302, 30201, those are the fingers that you will use to play these notes. So third finger, open, second finger, third finger, open, second finger, open, first finger for the C major scale. I recommend only starting with the C major and F major keys as far as memorizing fingerings. I wouldn't memorize this whole page right off the bat if you've never tried sight reading before. Just start with C major and F major. As we turn the page here, you'll see some sight reading examples, and look at this little Roman numeral 1. That means first position. So that's what that means. As you can see, first position. Now, you're gonna wanna move through this with a metronome at a constant pace, even if that is 20 beats per minute. The key for sight reading is to stay consistent. Even if you miss a note, try and move on to the next note and try and get through an entire exercise. Even if you are flubbing every single note, try and keep yourself accountable to move on to the next note. Now, as we move forward, we can see the second position here. Now the fingerings are going to change because we are in a different part of the fretboard. We've moved up one position, and again, I would just stick to C major and F major, maybe G major, and as you'll see here, bam, number 2, it's indicating the second position. So this is very consistent throughout the book. It'll always let you know what position you're in, and obviously the key signature will be there with the time signature. And basically, you just hit the metronome and try and get through these exercises, ensuring to adhere to the fingerings that are given to you on these position pages. So you don't want to mix these up because this is the absolute most effective way to play these positions. And like I said, it's going to take you some time to memorize all of them for each position, but hey, nothing worth doing has ever been easy, right? So we'll continue through this book: third position, fourth position, fifth position, all with their own fingerings. There's the sixth position, and obviously the exercises become more advanced as you move through the book, but they'll always start off the same way and then become insane. If you want to pause the video right here, this is a nice little piece of motivation by Bill Levitt, the author of all these great sight reading books, from Modern Method to Guitar, to Reading Studies for Guitar, and Melodic Rhythms for Guitar. Check that out. Take a picture of this and hang it up on your wall if you need to. So sight reading is something that I think makes you a more well-rounded musician, especially if you ever have hopes to be a session guitar player. You absolutely must learn to sight read. And hey, you're never better or smarter for not knowing how to do something, right? So why don't you give sight reading a try? It could be your long-lost passion. All it takes is 15 minutes a day, and in no time, you'll be a sight reading god. Until next time, guys, keep shredding.